Hey, eighth graders. Today is Friday. You're either getting this live with one of us or you are at home, cohort A, and you're watching this at home through digital video. Here's the thing. This is a really important one to remember, so make sure you watch to the end. I'll keep it short. Today we're talking about paragraphs. Yesterday, Mrs. Erickson talked about dialogue and how you're supposed to write it with the right punctuation and the right indents. Today's about paragraphs, which is also related to indents and how you format and chunk your story. So the biggest question I get is, when do I start a new paragraph? Mr. Slaby, I don't know. And I know this because I've seen some of your rough drafts when you literally have like a full page of one paragraph. So there's a basic rule. There's four, is when you start a paragraph in narrative writing, which is what we're doing, it's a little different than like essay writing, because that's pretty easy. An essay breaks up paragraphs into topics. One topic with a topic sentence, finishes it to the end, new topic sentence, new paragraph. That does seem to align here when the topic changes. It's the same thing in narrative writing or story writing. But when the time changes, when the place changes, and when the character has new dialogue, these are also places where we want to break into a new paragraph. So let's give an example. So just like an essay, when the topic changes, we want to have a new paragraph. So last night, I dreamed I was a bear that devoured a whole camp full of students. It was great. It tasted like chicken, Cane's chicken. I can go for that right now. Within the dream, however, there was a symbol that really caught my attention. It was a triangle with an eyeball inside it. Okay, so we could actually go right there and get ourselves a new paragraph, because really this whole part right here is all about the general introduction of this dream, and it's a summary, and it talks about the taste of everything. This paragraph is really about this one symbol, so the topic is sort of changed, even though the dream is still like in there. Okay, so second one, well, so here's how it really should look right there. Second one is time, when the time changes. Okay, so, for instance, last night I dreamed I was a bear that devoured a whole camp full of students. It was great. It tasted like chicken, Cane's chicken, with special sauce. I must have eaten like 50 kids in one big phenomenal forest feast. When I grew up much later from this dream, I realized I had the first day of summer school and my dream made sense. So this right here is the moment of truth right there. That is a difference in time, right? So we talk about last night, dream. When I woke up, time has passed. So that's how this should look, is that is a new paragraph. There's a bunch of time that changed there. Okay, third one, place. Last night I dreamed I was a bear that devoured a whole camp full of students. There was literally circus music playing as I ate and ate until I wiped out every kid in the campsite. I woke up in my bed with a stupid grin on my face. I worked my way across the hall to my kitchen to prepare a smoothie and an egg for breakfast. I noticed that same feeling from the dream crept back into me, and I began to smile. So ultimately what happens here is time didn't really change, its place. So for instance, last night I dreamed I was a bear. That happens in the, like the night, and then he woke up. In bed is one location. I worked my way across the hall means some distance has been crossed. So if a character moves to a new place, that's a good spot to throw a new paragraph. And lastly, we have this, which is we have some dialogue. So when a speaker changes. So last night I dreamed I was a bear that devoured a whole camp full of students. There was literally circus music playing as I ate and ate until I wiped out every kid in the campsite. I woke up in my bed with a stupid grin on my face. Hey, moron, called my stupid friend who was renting one of my rooms down the hall. I rolled my eyes and responded, yeah, what? Don't forget, he shouted, to buy me honey today. So think about this. All this is smushed in here, and I saw this a lot. That's not how it's supposed to look. As a reader, we want it to see very clearly who's talking, and that's what the indent will do, is it will tell us when someone changes. So I've got this, then I have hey moron, called my stupid friend. That's all part of that one speaker. I rolled my eyes and responded, yeah, what? That's right here, this tag is a description of a different speaker, so it becomes a new paragraph. Notice the indent. Same thing here. Don't forget, he shouted to buy me honey today. There I use my commas because it's in the middle. And I don't have a capital letter there because it's the continuation of that quote. But it's a new speaker because it's an indent. That's why we do it. If this was like this, then it would be hard to know who's speaking, but it's not like that. It's like that. So that indent helps us. And here's an example from a student right here. This was like, just because it was fine here does not mean it was fine everywhere else. America was rising by the sea. I can't remember what that, I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. They have 11 million cases of the disease, and Switzerland only has 200,000 cases. And with those 11 million, there are over 250,000 deaths. There's a way to make people lose because of these diseases, and I am here to stop it. So I went home to my house in Switzerland. There we go. This moment right here. This is all a good solid paragraph. It's about this topic and it's about this location. But right here, so I went home to my house in Switzerland. That's a moment when we have time shifting. So there you go. You're going to have to make sure you go through and have paragraphs. There's no hard, fast rule here, so don't worry about being right. But if you have 3-page long paragraphs, you got a problem. So here we go. First steps after this moment are add dialogue. Make sure that's still happening. 2, make sure you have solid paragraphs. Go through today. Make sure you got a bunch of paragraphs that kind of follow those rules. You can always ask us, but it's really just about your gut. When do you think you would want to hit return, get that indent, and have a new paragraph? Don't forget to always come back and make sure you have enough facts from your global research. Include your descriptive details of your character, because we're looking for round characters, and have a clear understanding of your climax and make it meaningful. It should be lots of description like slow-mo. All right, there you go. That is a lot of information about paragraphs, but use it because that's what we're expecting.